Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Yellow Seat interview series. My name is Tony Olajide. I'm your host, and today I have a very special guest with me. She's a rock star in the real estate industry. It's no other than Chantelle Chasse. Welcome, Chantal. Good to see you, my dear friend.
Thank you very much, Tony. I'm excited to be here.
Same here. So, Chantal, you currently work at the Remax Real Estate Center. I live in Milton, right?
Yes, correct.
But you actually do.
I work the Halton region as well as the GTA, and I've been working in that region for 16 years.
Good for you, because you and I actually met in Oakville, right?
Correct.
So that's wonderful. So now I do have to say something though, Chantal, before I begin at all. You've got one impressive real estate resume, my dear friend. I mean, I'm thinking about you, I'm going, my God, she's a second generation realtor. She used to own her own real estate team. You've co-authored a business book, which you're so kind to bring me a copy of. You know, we'll talk about that in a minute, right? And you're one of the most successful single agents that I know in the business. So can I ask you this? What drives you as a person towards business goals that so many others only fantasize about?
Well, naturally, I'm just a very competitive person.
I can see you play golf, you play trumpet, you do all kinds of other things outside of real estate as well too, right?
Correct, as well as decorating and design.
There you go.
My current house, I took the roof off and added a second story master ensuite with vaulted ceilings as well as a 5-piece bath. So I've also done that as well, and legalized a basement apartment in Milton.
Wow. So now coming back to business goals, I know you're supercharged. I mean, you're just so unstoppable, okay? What drives Chantal?
Well, what drives me is I like to break records. When somebody says, you can't do that, or you can't get that house for that price, or vice versa, I'm like, just watch me. So it might get my clients $20, $30, $40, $50,000 more, and which they didn't think that they would have because of my competitive drive. And vice versa, when I have a buyer and they tell me a certain budget, and I get that house for $20,000, $30,000 under this price because you have to be a strong negotiator, I feel satisfied inside.
Wow.
That's what drives me, knowing that I've done an amazing job and an excellent job for my clients.
So it's not just all about, this accolade or that accolade for Chantal. It's about being the very best person, your best realtor you can be for any client that works with you as well too, right?
Exactly, and I have people tell me, well, that gets you more money, you get more money. Like, if you do, but the commission is so small. $20,000 to my client is $20,000.
Yes.
For me, it's only an extra $100, but it's $20,000 for them that they wouldn't have had if I didn't push.
That's certainly right. So now, I have had a chance to meet your lovely mother. I mean, she's a fantastic woman, all right? So now, can I just ask you this? Did you ever get a sense of like an instant entitlement, okay, to success when you first got into the business just because your mom was already a realtor?
No. Basically, the only success that I got from actually benefit I found that I got from having a mom in real estate is that everywhere I turned, I always heard her negotiating, right? Like she could put a deal together. And she's just a smart business lady. So I picked up my work ethic from her, and sometimes I have to work on a deal for 2 to 3 months to get it together. And it's not easy. You just gotta know what is the bottom line and where you wanna be, and you just can't give up. Sometimes you gotta learn to walk away, but other times if you know and you stand strong and you know what you say and what should be done, anything can happen.
That's such a huge amount of wisdom there, business wisdom. Any one of that in this book at all?
Yes.
Did you share some of that?
Oh yes. So
book?
being in real estate actually for 16 years, I just got my broker's designation in July.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. That was one of my goals that I always wanted to do.
That's
and I
wonderful.
I finally took the big step and I went and wrote my exam. Got 89%.
Fantastic.
So
That's good.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this book.
So I thought that it would be good to, there's so many different stories, I had so many different stories and experiences, and we thought that we would put a book together so we can share in our experiences with clients. The cover of the book, I met this couple about 10 years ago, and he used to sell houses on his own. Yes, so he works for a big corporate company, he negotiates contracts for a living, and I had a property for sale, and I had a very tough client. They were going through a divorce, and we finally put the deal together, and he goes, I like you. He goes, the way you handled yourself, he goes, I'm going to give you the opportunity to sell my house. So I went in, and his wife was a decorator, designer, so I didn't really have to do too much to his property. And he only thought his house was worth $600,000. $600,000.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So back in 2011, multiple offers were not
commonplace.
We're not a commonplace, and even holding back, doing offer presentation days were not a big thing as well. So I said to him, I said, I think your house is worth. I said to them, I think your house is worth $630,000. I said, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to let the buyers decide what your house is worth. So we put it on for $599, and we had nine offers at the time.
Wow.
I had them all lined up, and we sold it for $628. So I was $2,000 off from what I said it was going to sell for.
Wow.
And he was so impressed, and now, so I just had to put his house on the cover of my book.
You're very good at networking.
Yes.
And you are so prominent on the social media circuit.
Well, I just feel that like with people, and I know myself, like I have good values, I have compassion, and I have empathy. And social media is, people just want to communicate with you. So I post something and I interact with everybody like they're human. A lot of people post things and they ignore them, and not me. Like, you're out there and you have to respect everybody. So if they take the time to put a comment on there, I'm going to take the time to say thank you. Because I appreciate that.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It shows, how nice you are. Now, can I ask you something? That level of high connectivity with people, what kind of impact has it had on your business in recent years?
Oh, but people trust me, right? They trust me. They know that I'm an honest person, and I could never do anything to anybody that would want them to be done to myself. It's just all about values. You have to have good, strong values, and I never push anybody to do what they don't feel comfortable doing. I always say, my clients give me the name the house whisperer, because I always say to them, I say, when you walk into a house and you fall in love with it, you will just know. And if you have to talk yourself into putting in an offer, that is not the house for you. And everything should just fall into place, and usually it does. And they're like, Chantal, you are so right. You are so the house whisperer.
Wow,
So
my God. I'm listening.
yeah.
I'm taking notes on this myself. So now, I've also observed that you have a very tight and loyal clientele base.
Yes.
I mean, many of those people are super fans of yours. How does one get to that point in their business as a realtor?
Well, I just think that you have to be true to yourself and be genuine. And if you work with somebody and they sense that you are doing a great job for them, they're like my clients or my word of mouth. And I don't leave until the job is finished, and I won't list a property until I think it's completely perfect, and I know that I can get them the most amount of money. And they see this and they're like, wow, you're unbelievable, because I just don't speak it. They see me do it. So they just fall in love with me because they're like, you actually do what you say that you're going to do.
So let's just roll the tape back, to several years ago. You've been 16 years in the business now, but at the very beginning of this career, your career in the business, you must have had your own share of struggles, right? And eventually, at one point or the other, things began to open up, right? So when would you say that game-changing moment began? What did you change in your approach to have made it happen?
Well, I just think I gained more confidence. I learned the market. I always say you got to know what you're selling. You got to know what's for sale. You got to know what's been sold, and just know your area. And it takes a little while to do that and to gain confidence. And once you gain confidence and people recognize that you know your stuff, then it starts to take off for you.
So now with the confidence, did that allow you to go back to training you didn't have? Or some of the places that you may have worked at, or how did you amass the amount of training you had to bring to the table as well? Because it's not just confidence, right?
No, it's training as well, and just following your heart, really. Like I didn't really have a lot of training, because I find that sometimes, like for me personally, I don't like to script. I don't feel that scripting is for me, because I don't know, I just authentic. And
this is Chantal.
yeah, this is Chantal, this is who I am.
This is who you are.
This is who I am.
And then you bring the full game to the table.
Exactly.
Fabulous. So to those realtors out there who've been in the business for so many years, are still knocking, on the door of success, but you just can't break through that door, through that ceiling, what would you say to them?
I just say don't give up, and if something is not working for you at one thing, try something else, and always just be consistent and always try to grow. Never stop growing. Like I go out and I talk to people every day, and I pick up information from people that I talk to, just that I can use in my business and my business model, and just never give up, never give up. And yeah, that's basically the key to it. Have a positive attitude. Have a positive attitude. You can wake up today and go to sleep angry every single day if you want to, and if you choose to, but if you wake up to be happy and just say, I'm going to enjoy life, I'm going to see what life's going to throw you, because being in real estate, sometimes when you wake up, you never know what's going to be thrown at you.
Exactly,
right?
yes.
And I've found over the years, it has changed quite a bit. It's not the same as it used to be. Technology, when I first got my license, we had books. We had CMA books
I remember
that we had to look at. Just never stop growing, that's all.
And essentially, it's all about the attitude. It's not the person who happens to have the most savviness in the business or tools or scripts or whatever. It can be the most trained person and have the worst attitude.
That's right.
So Chantal, you obviously know majority of our listeners, people that are watching this show are realtors, all right? So anything else you'd like to share with them?
I just say that if you go into a listing presentation or you meet a buyer for a buyer presentation, show confidence. Know your product. Price, I've been called the price queen, and be a strong negotiator, because your clients hire you for a reason. So you have to be their backbone. And if you can get those 4 things under your belt, then you're going to succeed.
And I can see, obviously, you have those 4 things under control. That's the reason why you're here exactly today, isn't it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again, Chantal. Good to see you, my dear friend.
You as well.
Thank you again for joining us. We hope to see you next time again. Be good, be powerful.